41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. I have swollen joints. I have brown spots on my legs. I have white spots on my arms. I have pink spots on my stomach. I have gray in my hair. I have wrinkles. I bruise easily. I have difficulty sleeping. I am learning to sail. I can still run 3 miles with hills. I can still bicycle 30. I can touch the ground with flat hands. I can do new yoga poses. I forget words and cannot finish all of my sentences. I read a good number of books. I remember details of my childhood when I was 3. I'm learning Spanish. I'm learning accounting. I practice mindfulness daily. This is the last week of my 49th year, and I am not feeling all that great about it. I have a lot of negative emotions. And so this is a video that I'm making with the hopes that I will feel better, having listened to a variety of friends, that I'll feel better about getting through this milestone.
Old.
Really old.
Close to my mom's. Middle age.
Retirement's coming up. Dentures.
I was 40 for 2 years, for 39 and 40. I was 40. Because, you know, you kind of had to, I don't know, I didn't want to be 40, I guess. So for all of 39, I was 40. So 40 was great because I was still 40.
You know, I think it would be pretty exciting. We've gone through all like the phases of life. You should be able to sit back, relax, enjoy. I don't know. You should have learned everything by that time, so you just keep going with life.
You can't regain the points of your life. I mean, you can make, the rest of your life can be perfectly good, and you can have a wonder, it can be better than the parts before. But just the fact that you couldn't regain any part of your life, I mean, that part of your life from then on would kind of be somewhat disappointing.
You know, I hear that it's typically older people are more laid back, but I don't think so. I don't know, I think they get more intense and pissed off easier the older you get. I think when you're younger things bother you, but they don't actually get you that upset. I mean, you don't really hear too many 25-year-olds out there ranting and raving about Bush. I mean, it happens, but it's mostly 50, 55, 60-year-olds that are just really pissed off.
They're smart. They gotta know something about life and how people should be treated and how they should treat other people. Maybe they're not as willing to get out there as much, or maybe be as active as they were when they were younger.
I think I have a mixed feeling about it versus, like, individual versus the culture. Because my family, my parents are young. They're both 54. So they just turned 50. And they, I think, experience a cultural expectation that I don't know is so prevalent in my generation. So 50 isn't so important in terms of having your job and, sort of sending your kids to college and this whole thing that it meant for them. So for me, it's kind of a confusing thing. I don't know what it is.
Do you think this would be an age that you would like to be at some time?
Have a house, I hope. I'll be living comfortably. 'Cause I'm sure working up to that age, I have some money built up. It's just another day to me.
No difference. Age means nothing. It's the person who matters.
Positives are you're taking more seriously, negatives are you're taking the impression of other people that you don't know what you're doing or something like that just because of age. Other people aren't very considerate of other older people.
It's a good age.
And if you think you're old, you're not. Just, you don't get older, you get wiser. So I think turning 50 is pretty exciting. It will be an exciting thing.
I think it's a one moment in the life, being 50, and physically we getting, older and older. And for me, it is special, and because we have a time frame like 50. But in reality, it is a one moment of life, and maybe age 12, same age 15 or 20 or 25 and 50. And, it's a one moment, but
Pop.
Ancient, young.
Just right.
Bad. 40 is the old age of youth, and 50 is the youth of old age.
I think you can roughly divide your life into three phases. Most of us can. The first 20 to 30 years, when you're basically irresponsible and you're the center of your own universe. You're the one who's the kid, you're the one that's going to college, you're the one that's starting the career. The world kind of revolves around you. Then most of us go into our child-rearing years, start having kids, start beginning to think about responsibilities, and what happens to our children becomes the primary concern in our life. And we work very hard to try and get them set up, get them on the road at around age 50, and as you get into your older years, what makes them so rewarding, I think, for most people is that there's an opportunity to begin to return to having themselves be the center of their life. So I think 50 is a difficult time because physically you've lost some of your stamina, you've lost some of your speed, but it's once again an opportunity to be childlike and to explore new things in new ways.
Just remember, in your head, you're forever young. So it doesn't make any difference how old you are, because you'll always stay young up here.
I just think you shouldn't even be worried about becoming 50. You're not going to feel any different than you do right now. Only here, so. When you turn 75 or 80, then start worrying about it.
I retired when I was 55, and I didn't like being retired. And one of the things that bothered me was that it seemed to me that at that age, that I was sort of at the peak of my impact on society. That retirement, if it came with age, stripped me of my ability to impact the world around me, and I became little more than a consumer at that time.
It didn't bother me so much when I hit 50. It was after that. And it's like the years are going that much faster, and it gets a little depressing sometimes, especially when I hear a lot of people say it's hard to find a job because of job discrimination, because of your age.
Hard to get to you yet.
And they tell you it's not that, but it is.
It's an arbitrary number, but it makes you look back at things and you figure that things could have been different. Things could have been different in your marriage. Things could have been different in the way you brought up your kid. Things could have been different in the way you worked. But I think the biggest thing is finding a way to process that so that 50 plus becomes a happy time.
I've got pictures of my mom and dad when they were in their 30s and 40s. Much older than people now in their 60s and 70s. At that time, when you hit 40, you were supposed to be, that was middle age.
Right. You married, you put an apron on, and you became a wife and mother. And that was it. So as far as worrying about your appearance, you were neat, but you were a mother. Nowadays, a mother could be a sex symbol.
The good side is I'm being able to free myself up from a lot of stuff that I was hanging on to. I mean, both physically and in terms of just beliefs that I've held that don't hold together anymore when I'm older, because they they're tied to accumulation and piling stuff up and keeping it for the future. And there's as much, I now realize there's as much in the unlayering. There's as much a feeling of whatever it is, not unaccomplishment, a feeling of unaccomplishment that's as real and as satisfying as a sense of accomplishment of piling up those things.
Do you have any advice for me?
What does that mean?
It means, can you tell me what I should do to make my life better at the age of 50?
Raise my allowance.
Keep your vision and stay young.
Take one day at a time. Be grateful for all your blessings. Other than that, just enjoy your remainder of your years.
For me personally, 49, looking for the bridge. 50, I'm gonna jump.
Try to keep your hair from going gray.
Don't let your life pass you by without doing what you really want to do.
To take the good parts of the age, the wisdom, the experience, the knowledge, and embrace those, but keep on with the good parts of the young and the spontaneity and carefreeness and fun.
I think if you live your life, you know, with a lot of energy and not get lazy and work out and eat right, I think you'll live to be 100.
I would say define it yourself and don't let anyone tell you what you are capable of.
So just stay healthy and you'll be young forever.
Yeah.
Enjoy this time right now and look forward to it and not be afraid of it. Enjoy this moment.
I'm 50. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56.